Why not you call locals and tow the car?
Even the closed captioning was like, I don't fucking know. I'm going to lunch. I'm done with this shit. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff Porter from Cinema Reactor. Today we're taking a dive into a Seagal film called Born to Raise Hell.
You watch too many American movies.
This title has nothing to do with the film. In fact, I don't even know really what the film's about, but here we go. According to IMDb, because we have to consult them for every Seagal movie, otherwise we'd be lost. A U.S. drug cop in Bucharest is up against a Russian gun and drug trafficker employing cute women and a gypsy gang leader who plunders, rapes, and kills the young and rich. Lots of fighting and shooting. Now, you might already see some issues just in that description. Why is there a U.S. drug cop in Bucharest? Not going to get into it.
Stuff like that I'm trying to figure out, you know?
There's a lot of confusing aspects to this film, as with every Seagal movie. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, this film is written and produced by Seagal. So already we're off to a flying start. So the overall basis of the film is there's this bad guy named Costello, and he is just a bad dude. You know, he's a drug dealer. He rapes, he murders people. He's your run-of-the-mill bad guy. However, he's working with a Russian leader. Of course, Russians got to be in the Seagal film. His name's Dmitri. Now, he's a bad dude too. He's a murderer, drug dealer, fill in the blanks. We're going to come back to him. So when we first see the bad guy, Costello, he is breaking into somebody's house. They do a lot of B&Es. They take all the people's shit. He rapes the women while his crew does all the work, I guess. And then they book it, and then they sell drugs on the side. How is Seagal tied up into this? Well, he's a drug cop, right? So you'd think he'd be, you know, like trying to catch Costello. Well, we find out right in the beginning that Seagal lost his partner 6 months ago. And so he's out there on the streets. He's trying to figure out, he's going to find whoever killed his partner. No. That doesn't happen at all. In fact, it's never brought up again throughout the entire movie. In fact, he gets a new partner, and this partner is expecting a baby.
But a month away from being a father.
Really?
So nothing bad will happen to him. But in some roundabout way, Seagal ends up being on the trail of this Costello guy because he's an American in Bucharest doing small town drug busts because Seagal wrote it, I guess. And of course, this, leads up the chains. Costello is working for Dmitri. Seagal eventually tries to catch Dmitri. He actually arrests him at one point in the movie. But we find out that Dmitri, even though he's a murderer and drug dealer and all these bad things, he's a good-hearted family man and a man of his word. And that is worth way more to Seagal than anything else.
Believe that shit.
By the end of the film, we end up seeing Dmitri and Seagal working together to go against Costello because I guess he's a little bit worse of a person. And then Seagal just lets the biggest drug dealer in Bucharest leave.
Great minds think alike. What's that? Brilliant.
Because they're buddies now.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Throughout the film, though, there's so many crazy things. Now, so right away, like 5 minutes into the film, when we're about to see Costello do his first B&E, we see the wife and the husband. And now, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know if this is a thing, but it immediately caught me off guard. So first, they wake up and she's like, oh, do you want some juice? And she pours 2 glasses of orange juice. And then she's like, do you want coffee? And then she pours him a cup of coffee. I don't know what that means, like what's going on there. But coffee and orange juice, just that sounds like a terrible combination to me. I don't know if there's a cultural difference there, but it sounds horrible. And so Seagal's getting a check mark for that.
What the fuck is this?
And then, as with every Seagal movie, we immediately, get the Seagal suckfest. As soon as he's introduced, oh, he's so good, he's the greatest, he's your new partner. Oh, yeah, you're so good. And then they take off to their first mission, where we see a man who parks his motorcycle in his dining room. And then he tries to escape off of it, which is funny because I end up caring way more about that guy than anybody else in the movie. So he becomes an informant for Seagal. His name's Soren. But like he's honestly kind of like the most likable character in the movie. Everybody else is just kind of Seagal like, but like this guy had a little bit of personality, a little bit of a character, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm in therapy for that.
So now he has Soren as a informant, and now they can start going up the chain of command, try to get to Dimitri. So now we're gonna get to one of my favorite parts, where they go to a park to try to spy on Dimitri by using Soren, even though nobody's wired. He doesn't have a headpiece. He doesn't have a microphone. Nothing. So what do? They sit in a van.
Players eyeballing us on this side. Shit. Looks like they're coming this way.
Yeah, we're burned.
And my favorite part is it's like an undercover van, so it's got, like a plumbing company on the side. But they parked the damn thing in the cop parking lot. Like it was just, they didn't put any labels or anything on it. So like they just had this van sitting in the parking lot of the police station. That would probably be a red flag for me. I mean, like if I drove past the police station and I saw a plumbing thing there day after day after day, I might keep that in the back of my mind. Like, I wonder if they're in there. And this is exactly what they do. It's not 5 minutes that they're in the van spying in the park until they get three guys that are like, hey, there's police guys over there in the van. So they do like anybody else would do. They approach the van. Of course, a lumbering Seagal gets out. Guys, they're going to have to speed up my film as I throw you into the van.
Listen, guys, I think you know what we're doing. And, you don't get the fuck out of here, I'm taking you all to jail.
So needless to say, they don't end up getting Dimitri here. So plan B, they just pull him over. They should have just done that to begin with. So they've got him pulled over. They find a gun that isn't supposed to be there. They arrest him for that. And before we know it, he is already released. And they got next to no information. In fact, Dimitri just tells him, like, go figure it out on your own. And Seagal says,
Plan on it.
why the fuck did you arrest him? What? That's okay. We just go to the next scene like nothing happened. And now we're in a restaurant with Seagal and his girlfriend, who's like 18 maybe. We find out that they've been dating for a little bit though. And in fact, back at their apartment, we get this weird scene right in the middle of the movie about how she is so understanding because he's a cop and he loves his job. And why do we care? So now we're at the point they find out that Soren has been an informant. So Dimitri sends somebody to kill them because he's a murderer. Let's not forget that Dimitri's a murderer. So now it's time for another raid. This time it is on one of Costel's drug den things with a bunch of his people inside. They end up going through pretty much shooting everybody except for one person who, hey, we can get some information out of him. Lucky us. However, as soon as they take him out in the street to put him in the back of the cop car, who happens to drive by and kill him? Nothing matters in this movie. Everything that they do just doesn't matter by the next scene. It's so irritating. There's no continuity. This is like the last one we just did. Everything just this is a film where things just happen. Like there's no underlying connection to each of the things, because by the next scene, the thing that you just previously saw has no effect on the movie whatsoever. So now Costel is mad because he's losing a bunch of his money. Dimitri doesn't want to deal with it though. He just wants his money from Costel. This causes a little bit of anger, a little bit of resentfulness from old Costel, and he ends up going to Dimitri's house and killing his wife in front of his child.
Why did you make me do this?
Because they're terrible, terrible people. Now Dimitri's wanting a little bit of a revenge, you know what I mean? He wants to kill Costel for killing his wife. So how's he going to do that? He is going to politely ask the officer if he can kill him. But Seagal's a good cop, you know? He's like the cool uncle who'll let you have a beer. He's like, you can kill the guy who killed your wife. It's cool, man. You just tell me where Costel is and you can kill the shooter. All right, it's cool, man. I'm a man of my word. We're good. Look right here. We're good people. We're BFFs.
You know what I'm saying? Keep your word. I will.
So now Seagal is BFF'd up with a mass murderer, drug trafficking, human trafficking psychopath from Russia. But it's cool. So now we get the rundown. Seagal goes, finds Costell, and this epic showdown. This thing's actually really, it's great. It's fantastic. Let me tell you this. You're going to get this huge, epic fight scene that is the greatest thing you've ever seen. It's Seagal at his best. He goes in, he confronts Costell, they fight for like 14 seconds, and then Seagal kills him. The end? All of this movie so you could kill him in 14 seconds? He doesn't even give us a good fight scene anymore. He's just like, I slap you. And that's it. Now you would think he would kind of, hey, Dimitri, I can't make deals, with drug dealers and murderers, so you're still going to have to go to jail. Nah, he brings his buddy 2 plane tickets for him and his son to go back to Russia. Seagal is aiding and abetting a felon. How is this the good guy? I don't understand these movies. Seagal's supposed to be the good guy, right? We're supposed to want him to win, but every movie I find myself I want him to be pushed down a flight of stairs. Yeah, he's on our side. He's Seagal. But that's just the story. Of course, I mean, it was written by Seagal, so okay, it's gonna be kind of wacky. But the production on this thing, there's some. First of all, the whole film sounds like there's 2 channels of audio. It has that weird echo thing. And I tried other things. I went to YouTube and stuff just to see if it was my speakers or my settings. It's just the movie. I don't know why, but the movie, it's like they had the 2 channels down there and they just didn't mute one or delete the other one. And so the whole film's just kind of weird and echoey. Not to mention, of course, the voiceovers doesn't sound anything like Seagal. I don't know if it's supposed to be Seagal. I think it is, because he's talking about his partner, but it is not him at all. It is just some other random person.
Evil exists in every man. While some rush to contain it, I find it easier to embrace it.
And the captions, let me tell you about the captions, because this is I turn on the captions because it's Seagal. I can't understand a fucking word he says. And so I turn on the subtitles. There's a point in this movie where Seagal is talking, and then it says something, 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 and then in brackets it just puts mumbling.
One, I should call locals and tow the car?
Yes.
Even the closed captioning was like, I don't fucking know. I'm going to lunch. I'm done with this shit. And how could we forget boobs? So many boobs in this movie. Boobies. Whew, Seagal. You might want to take a break from the boobies, bud. You're starting to show your hand a little bit. Maybe you should scale it back. This is another film where I feel gross having watched. I feel like I'm rooting for the bad guy. He doesn't do anything right. And everything is just happenstance. Everything just kind of falls into place. Even his informant that he gets, where you're like, okay, this is how cops get information sometimes, and we get some undercover busting thing, that's gone and null and void by the next scene. It's just, everything about this movie is just a complete mess. Yeah, that's about all I can say about it. A lot of great clips. Of course, like all the other ones, I watched this on Tubi TV, so you can head over and check it out yourself. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.